It is Cheapo time in the Cheapo Nation once again. Welcome back, everybody. Today in the house, the all-new OWO18E from OWON. Yeah, this bad boy has Bluetooth capability, and it's 20,000 counts. And get this, it's in the cheapo zone. A 20,000 count cheapo? Are you kidding me? That has Bluetooth? What the style multimeter? But is it any good? Well, you know what? OWON has a pretty darn good reputation, and I think you might be pleasantly surprised. Or not, we'll soon find out. Alrighty, what do you get in the box? Well, you get a thermocouple, because yes, the OWON does do temperature in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. As well, you get a couple of these alligator clips, crocodile clips, whatever you want to call them. They clip, and they are pretty handy dandy overall for all sorts of projects. So really a bonus when you get this with any multimeter. So you get a couple of test leads, of course, with your OWON. These are rated at 10 amps, 1000 volts, Cat 2. They have a nice little screw on here, as you can see. Look at that, handy dandy. And they are really pointy as well. First impressions, I like. Are they going to be any good though? What about continuity? All these questions. We'll soon find out. And unlike a lot of meters in the cheapo zone, wow, look at the documentation you get with this. You get a little quick guide for downloading that Bluetooth app. Now that works on both the iOS and Android. Just take your cell phone, scan the QR code, and it'll take you to the download area. Awesome. Finally, you have a quick spec sheet here. Gives you a really quick lowdown on the specs that your OWO is capable of. And it's more of a cheat sheet, really. It's not a how-to guide, but it's really handy. I gotta say, I love this little quick data sheet. And finally, look at that. You get a multimeter manual. It's a little manual, and it's really good print, and it's all in English. And I gotta say, sweet, sweet, sweet. Did I say it's sweet? Hey, speaking of sweet, I'm gonna give away one of these multimeters. I'm keeping one because I think it's pretty sweet. And guess what? All you have to do to win, subscribe, like, and leave a comment below, right there, right there, right below. I'm so excited I can hardly talk. I'm gonna pick the winner in exactly 1 week from today. So yeah, and I'm gonna announce it, of course. It might even be a live draw. You know, I haven't done one of those in a while. So leave a comment, and you're entered to win. Ooh. Ow. It is a hunky, chunky little meter. It ain't so little after all. Solid. This is a solid instrument. I love the the feel. And we've got those nice little probe holders right there, so you can do that. It's a little bit, anyway, you get the idea. Or you can kind of reverse it if you want. Do one of these thingamajiggies, you know, like, come on. Oh, jeez, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so very handy dandy. You're seeing less and less of the probe holders on new multimeters. Don't know why. They are super duper convenient. Finish wise, I'm gonna give this baby a 10 out of 10. Standing bail, look at that. Look at that. Solid, easy, breezy, recessed, pull it out. No having to reach for dear life for that puppy. And no flappity flap either. All in all, very, very nice. You can certainly one-hand this bad boy. Not even thinking about it. Take a look at the rotary selector switch starting at the 9 o'clock or off position. Volts AC-DC. DC up to 1000 volts. AC up to 750. Millivolts AC-DC. Resistance, continuity, and diode. Capacitance up to 20 millifarad. Frequency up to a whopping 20 megahertz. Dual temperature in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. Non-contact voltage. Microamps AC-DC. Milliamps AC-DC. Finally, high current amps AC-DC up to 20 amps. Top left, we have our select button. Below that, our range. Far right, we have our backlight as well as our hold. And finally, at the bottom, we have our frequency, duty cycle, Bluetooth on and off, and rel. Bottom of the meter, we have our high current input, 20 amps. In the middle, we have our separate microamp and milliamp. Beside that, we have our common or neutral. And finally, on the right, we have our voltage resistance, frequency, capacitance, temperature, diode, and continuity. Fingers can definitely fit in there really, really well. And you can tell here, or you can see here at least, it's got a nice groove on the side. So it actually does, believe it or not, give you a little bit more tactile feel when you're switching ranges. Now that being said, it's not going to get stuck between ranges. Thank God for that. So it's good enough, and it does have a fairly decent click. My only caveat is the fact that it's just a wee bit mushy, just a tad mushy, lads. But you know what? It's not bad. It's not bad.
Sweet.
There is the main display. Not too bad, really. Good size font, and in terms of readability, nice. You really don't lose much no matter what angle you're looking at. And let's activate that backlight, shall we? And we have a little bit of bleeding. Well, not really bleeding per se, but that's where the 4 LEDs are coming through. You can tell here on the sides, but not bad. Comes up as a little more greenish on the screen. Not quite so green in person, but you know, generally it's decent. Backlight stays on for about 45 seconds to a minute. You do have a fair amount of time to work with, so not too shabby. Ready for this? Yeah, this meter. Sit down, everybody. I paid like 36 bucks for this. Canadian, we're talking like 29 or so US for a 20,000 count Bluetooth multimeter with a 20 amp high current input. Wow, just insane. Guess what? If that vendor is still selling these at that price on Amazon, I will include the link below. Grab one while you can. If you can't win one, you might as well buy one, because dang it, that is just insane price. Wow, a cheapo. Alright, it's DC Showdown time. I've got Mr. Sanwa PC7000 in the house. I will be reviewing that shortly on the channel. He's up against the two OWONs, and we should be looking at 5.000 volts. And look at that, 5.0013 for the Sanwa, 4.996995 for both of the OWONs. They're kind of going back and forth. Now for the OWONs themselves, for DC voltage, according to the spec sheet, we're looking at about 0.8%, plus or minus 2 digits. So definitely not as accurate as that Sanwa, but still well within spec. DC's voltage showdown. Hey, why not? We have Sanwa here. Let's put him to good use, right? 1.02 volts, 1.01 and 1.01 for both of the OWONs. And according to the Siglin power supply, we're sitting at 1.02. Okay, let's take it up a notch, up to a whopping 10.02 volts. 10.02 for the Sanwa, 10.018 and 10.017 for the OWONs respectively. Okay, up and away. You know what, let's just max out this puppy. 32.00 volts. 32.00 for the Sanwa, 31.96 for the OW18E on the right, and 31.96 for OW18 on the left. Wow, those guys are definitely spec and spec. And the funny thing is, they were bought from actually different times. So yeah, it's really nice to see that we have that no discrepancy here. Good accuracy on the OWON's part. Okay, it's not as accurate as the Sanwa, but the Sanwa cost 100 times more. So I mean, really? Well, not 100 times. What am I talking? At least 30 times. Anyway, it's definitely more expensive than those OWONs, at least at that cheapo price. But in very, very good showing. Now, one thing that we are missing is that nice bar graph on the PC7000. Look at that. No bar graph on the OW18Es. No bar graph at all, which is sorely missed. That would have been really nice. One thing we do have is a larger font. You know, up to you. Hey, this is some crazy resolution on the PC7000, but you know, the font is a little on the small side, so depending on your eyes, it might not appeal to you as much as that bigger font on the OW18Es. So jury's out on that one, but all in all, pretty nice looking displays. Okay, we're sitting now in high current at 8.3 amps, 8.39 according to the Kaiweets power supply. And the OW18E is telling us we're about 8.37. Pretty darn close. Okay, let's just max it out here. 10.2 amps, 10.28. And we have that nice high current alarm. Look at that right at the top. Good stuff, high current alarm. Now this does have a max, they're telling us, of 20 amps fused. But unfortunately this power supply is only going to do 10. Take it back down. And let's rest it right at 2.17, coming up as 2.16 amps. So all in all, high current looks pretty darn good. Take a quick look at temperature, sitting right now in Celsius, and we can just adjust that by hitting the select switch. Bring us over to Fahrenheit. Now, it does have an ambient sensor on board, so no worries about having to use a thermocouple, unless you want to get down and dirty, which is what I'm going to do right now. We've got the Berger going, and let's put that probe, and whoa, that is toasty. That is toasty. 1,500, 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit. Woo, look at that sucker burn. Alrighty, so yeah, no problems here in terms of temperature. And once again, we do have the ambient sensor, so you don't always need a temperature probe. Now, how am I going to get this fire out? Yeah, yummy. Right now we're in millivolts and sitting at about 100 millivolts, and we're showing about 116. Now we can't go much higher than that. Let's try 200. And once again, we're getting that over limit in the millivolt range. 200 millivolts is all this OWON can do. Alrighty, Aphrodite diode is what we're in. Diode and LED. Starting off with a standard diode. And there's the forward voltage drop. No audible beep, that's too bad, but looking good. Over to standard LEDs. Starting off with the red LED. Let's reverse those probes. And it is lit with a forward voltage drop over to the yellow. Same over to the white. It is lit, but no forward voltage drop. The blue and the green all lit, but only 2 out of 5 in terms of the forward voltage drop indication. 3.2 volts, maximum output voltage in diode mode. Next up, quick look at resistance, sitting at 1 mega ohm. Bring it up to 3 mega ohms. Nice and fast, 6 mega ohms. Finally 10 mega ohm. Not too shabby. Let's try 1.1K. 1.11. Spot on, a little slower to range in the lower ranges, but nothing shabby. 2.2 mega ohm. 2.22. 2.222. Yeah, so really, all in all, not too bad. It is a little bit slower, as I mentioned, in the lower ranges, but generally speaking, not bad at all. And sitting here with a 100 ohm lab resistor. Look at that, 100.5 ohm. Oh, beauty. Yeah, so accuracy-wise, so far, I've been pretty impressed with these OWONs. I mean, I just can't get over the bang for buck once again. You know, like 30 bucks. Whoa, you can't beat the performance that we seem to be getting. Just keeps getting better. Something worth mentioning is when you enable that backlight, you're also enabling the flashlight. There's no way to have one or the other. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Why? Why do I need a flashlight? I just want a backlight. Alrighty, here we go. Continuity time, stock, default test probes. Gotta say, so far, I'm liking these probes. I am. They're good in the hand. You know, my hand, I love it. I love it. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. Latched. Loud. We have that nice visual indicator at the top as well. Always a bonus in continuity land. Now, the only problem is it latches for quite a while, so if you're looking for that really quick and short release, it doesn't happen with the OWO18E, but still it's fast and it's loud. Good stuff. Let's try the ProMasters. ProMasters. Once again, it's super fast, but it latches just a little bit longer than I'd like, so you don't get that sharp release. But it is fast and definitely loud. .3 decibels, maximum output volume in continuity. Alrighty, capacitance mode, here we go. We're going to start off with a 10,000 microfarad, 10 millifarad capacitor. Now we have a little bit of stray capacitance, as you can see in the meter, but I'm not going to worry about that. Let's get things going here. 10 millifarad, 10,000 microfarad. Come on, Owen. Don't be shy. Don't let this capacitor pass on by. There we go, 9.689. Looking good. That didn't really take that long either. Well, let's see if it can do better than spec. 47 millifarad, 47,000 microfarad. Why not? Why not live on the edge, right? Alrighty, here we go. It's thinking. Now, unlike some of the other multimeters, we're not seeing a display. No, it's yeah. Oh well. Hey, it was worth a shot. What the heck? But some of the other multimeters, you do have that nice indicator, usually a blinking cursor, what have you, just to let you know that it is still trying to get a reading, but not with the OWON. As you can see, we have a little bit of stray capacitance in the leads, and we're going to try reling that out, actually. So a little bit better, still not 100%. And here's a very low 3.7 nanofarad capacitor, and look at that, 3.72, pretty well spot on with that Sanwa LCR, showing the same reading. So good job, OWON, in terms of the low range of capacitance. Great. Non-contact voltages next. Now here is a just the wires coming out of a power supply. It's got 30 volts going through it right now, but look at that, nothing, nada, not even 1 bar. Silence is not golden in this case. Well, that's too bad. Let's try it on a wall outlet. Alrighty, really a disappointment here. Look at that, nothing, not a piñata. Whoa, what is up with that? Oh my God. All right, let's go to the mains. Okay, we're in the mains panel now. Come on, 1 bar. Barely. One bar at the mains. Wow, what a disappointment. Ah, God. Well, can I say, in terms of NCV, you suck. Click on the BDM, that is your software launching mechanism. Don't forget to download the software via the QR code. Scan it with your phone, available for both the iOS as well as your Android. Here's a quick look at the front end. This is just a resistance measurement we're looking at right now. But generally speaking, what do you see? Well, pretty good looking GUI as far as I'm concerned. Good bold colors, good selection of fonts, and really easy on the eyes. And it's fairly fast as well. There's no lag, no delays whatsoever. Pretty easy breezy in terms of overall usefulness. Now coming up, we're going to take a quick look at those graph charts, because you can do some graphing analysis as well with the software. Always a bonus, and really one of the big reasons why people want to have this software in the first place. You can plot up to 10,000 different readings, so it can come in uber handy at times. Now that can be saved in both CSV, and I believe that can be converted to an Excel format as well, although I'm not 100% confirmed on that as of yet. But generally speaking, you do have a lot of functionality here and a lot of power in such a small package. Overall, very good front end. Nice big buttons here, and really easy on the eyes. So definitely a bonus in terms of any multimeter. When you have that Bluetooth functionality, it opens up a lot of doors. Right now we're looking at resistance, sitting at 9 mega ohms, and it's just like looking at a multimeter. The display is identical to what you see on the meter itself. And once again, no lag whatsoever. It is immediate in terms of response time. Now, this is a slightly older version of the software that's been released. I did try to do an internal update via the software shell itself, but there was some errors being generated, so it didn't work right off the get-go, but I will try again later. All in all, great experience and really good software. Alrighty, here we are on the inside of the OWON, and look at that. What do we have here? Let's start off with that battery assembly, shall we? 9-volt battery is what you get, and yeah, that's what it's powered by, obviously. We have a sort of an interesting housing there, so you can only put the battery in one way, and it does seem to work quite well. We have that nice brass threaded insert as well for the battery compartment, so that is always a good thing. Reverse side, obviously no shielding. Well, no surprise. Basic ABS plastics here. Nice molding, really. No junky edges or anything. All in all, not too shabby for the cheapo. Alrighty, here we are with a little bit closer look, starting off with those input jacks. Split variety, as you can see. Pretty good sized soldering blobs. Yeah, you know what? It's okay. Definitely not the best out there, but yeah, let's not forget the price point of this guy. Here's our current shunt. Nice and big. And look at those fuses. Here is the high current fuse as well as the milliamp. The milliamp is 1,000 volt, 500 milliamps. And on the high current side, we have a Discman. What the heck is a Discman? I guess that is a questionable name. Sort of a play on busman, don't you think? Anyway, it's a Discman rated at 15 amps, 1,000 volts as well, but I sort of take that with a grain of salt. 2 PTCs, that's it, that's all, and they're rather meek looking, I must say. No mauves whatsoever to speak of. Fab date here, we have 2020 April 3rd, version 1.1, so fairly recent in terms of multimeters. Let's take a closer look at the IC. Here we have the DM1106EN. We've seen that on the Unity UT210E as well. Basically, it is a rebadged Hycon HY12P65. So I do believe you can hack the EEPROM in this as well. So if you're into that sort of thing, you might have some fun with that. Over to the Bluetooth side, here we have a T-Link semiconductor TLSR 8261. That is the Bluetooth chip. Finally, at the top, we have our NCV strip, as you can see. Wow, you know what? For whatever reason, this really sucked, didn't it? Just lousy, totally lousy. But there is the filament embedded right into that PCB, but for whatever reason, it just did not do a great job. We have some programmable headers over here for factory settings, but really not too much else going on. Unfortunately, you're going into plastic through the casing, 4 Phillips screws, but yeah, right into plastic. Rotary selector switch pads. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pads. Slightly different little assembly here. It is held in by that 1 Phillips screw. But yeah, not bad, not bad. Soft touch buttons at the top, and here are the input jack. Finally, the other side of the PCB as well. Here are the rotary selector tracks themselves. No grease whatsoever on there, but it is fairly clean. Got some flux down there at the bottom, but nice big soldering jobs. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Big LCD display at the top, and once again, that is the opposite side of that NCV detector over there. So, in a nutshell, there you go. Overall, not bad. One thing I want to point out is when I took this off, I barely touched it, and one of those 9-volt connectors there just came right off. Look at that, just like nothing. It came right off. So obviously I'll have to put that back on, but yeah, not much solder holding that one in. But anyway, gonna put everything back together, come back with my closing thoughts. Closing thoughts on the OWON OW18E. Oh, you know what? All things aside, what can I say? It's pretty hard to go wrong with this 20,000 counts Bluetooth compatible software that works on both iOS and Android, and a bevy of ranges. This thing is loaded. In terms of power dissipation, it's not that bad either. You're going to get about 400 hours on that 9-volt battery. And if you're on the Bluetooth logging for any length of time, you're going to get only about 60. But still, at the end of the day, that's not too shabby. As long as you don't need NCV, which totally bit the big one. And let's face it, that input protection was meh at best. Still, all things considered, this is a really good buy. If you're looking for a Bluetooth compatible meter that won't break the bank and that has a lot of bang for the proverbial buck, look no farther than the OWON OW18E. The OW18E gets a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, this is one awesome deal for a Bluetooth multimeter, and I gotta say, whew, I'm keeping one of them. But don't forget, I'm giving one of these suckers away. In fact, this guy right here is yours. Just leave a comment below. Tell me what is your favorite multimeter. That's all. Or leave me any comment, whatever. Gonna do the draw live in 1 week. Some lucky winner is gonna get this OW18E, and they can call it theirs. Hey, thanks for watching this review, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the summer. It's been a hot one. Hey, have a good one. Till the next one, keep on testing.